Hello Sagittarius, welcome to your November reading. We've got this lovely 12th house activity going on. Venus retrograde in Scorpio. Jupiter coming into your sign this month. It's going to be amazing. Mercury retrograde in your sign. A lot of stuff happening. I have a couple of announcements. So I've been doing this for 3 years. And I've decided it's time for me to change my format a little bit. So those of you who have been with me forever, sorry, I'm not going to be showing the cards anymore. I'll be doing it more like my weekly bump style for those of you who participated in that. I'm going to be making some changes to my channel too along the way. This Venus retrograde has not gone unnoticed in my life, not by a million miles. So a lot of stuff happening for me. And I know there's a lot of stuff going on for Sagittarius too. And this 3-4 week period of Venus retrograde is transformative, to say the least, for everyone in the entire zodiac. And it's exactly what we needed to kind of break ourselves out of this funk, right? To break us out of anything that's really been holding us back. And when November comes, there's going to be new doors opening because we've shifted. And whenever we make a shift, whenever we realign, we establish a new path. And that path very willingly unfolds for us. It's not even a question. It's the way life works. And you will witness in front of you life unfolding. And this should be a very exciting time in your life. Maybe major things happened, right? Maybe there's been so much change, or the change was so big that this might not seem like that great of a reward. But this is what leads to the biggest rewards of life. This is the first step. That's the only thing we can do. We can only do one thing at a time. We can only put one foot in front of the other, 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time. So this is absolutely an amazing blessing for you, whether it is a new relationship, it is a new endeavor, new travel opportunities, a new mindset. I mean, for Sagittarius, this is an amazing card because it's fire, right? It's that passion, it's that will to create, that will to understand. So you start off with an Ace of Wands. That's not bad. What else comes out for Sagittarius for November? Okay. The Sun reversed. See, these are somewhat contradictory, but I get it, right? Because the Ace of Wands, albeit obvious, albeit an opportunity, still there's a lot of questions. And there's a lot of healing that I think needs to be done as well. I think that the soul has been stretched to limits that perhaps you weren't really ready for or anticipating, and so it got uncomfortable. And so there's still this question of, okay, well, how is this really going to get me toward my end goal? And what is my end goal anyway? Because, you know, with what's been going on, I guarantee your goals have shifted. I guarantee your goals have changed, or at least the process through which you plan to get to those goals has changed. So there's questions in the air floating around, and that's perfectly fine. This is a time of reassessment. Your season is all about achieving understanding. So we're kind of making our way through Scorpio season, through the 12th house, to allow the subconscious yearnings to really come up. And it's not lost on me that 12th house, house of our own undoing, the sun here is reversed. Okay, makes perfect sense. Because all it's doing is just going down to the underworld for a minute, and it's going to resurface with new information, which will unfold and become blatantly clear when Jupiter comes into your sign, and you start feeling the effects of your solar returns. Do I make sense? Hopefully I'm making sense. Sometimes it makes a lot of sense up here, but when I try to articulate it, it doesn't really. But so it's just kind of a transitory phase, you know. And it's not scary. It's not meant to be scary. It's not meant to feel overwhelming or like it's a lot. It shouldn't feel like it's a lot. because you shouldn't feel like it's a lot, because you are manifestation powerhouses, and with Jupiter in your sign, that's like not going to go away for a long time, right? The whole entire zodiac is super excited about this Jupiter and Sagittarius transit, because it's going to take all of us to new levels, and you, it's no exception, right? Jupiter coming in contact with your sun, coming in contact with your ascendant through your first house or through your moon, or however it's situated in your chart. And there are going to be massive opportunities for you to expand and to experience expansion, both in money and finances, prosperity, in family, in happiness, in joy, in all of the positive things that life really has to offer. She's upright. She manifests good things. She doesn't manifest out of fear. She manifests through purpose, through her will, through her intention. But she's also no stranger, right? She plants the seeds, but she also knows that she has to wait for the plants to grow. There's nothing you can do to force that unfolding of life, that new path. There's nothing that you can do except, like I said before, one step in front of the other, 1 second at a time, 1 minute at a time. And you just have to let it be. But you can be forceful with your intent. You can be strong in what it is you want to do, strong in what it is you set your goals and your aspirations toward. She is the ultimate achiever. There is absolute success and victory in whatever, I call her the one with the Midas touch, right? The golden touch. Whatever she puts her hands on, it turns to gold. So here it is. Okay. So let's see. She's focused, she's focused, she's strong, she's on point. She knows what she wants. There's contradictions going on all over the place. I just got the Strength card reversed, and we get the 5 of Cups. Why? Because you've just changed, and there's always a sense of vulnerability when you've changed. And you may be dealing with somewhat of a manipulative force as well. Maybe there is someone in your life that is causing havoc, causing chaos, causing you to be in a situation that you don't want to be in. Well, guess what? There's going to be an opportunity that comes up that says, okay, well, if you don't really want to be where you are, you're going to have an out. You're going to have a chance. This is a creative force as well. This is about creation and design and being the architect and the producer of your life. This is about going and collecting all the right ingredients to make your cake. Okay, you have to go out and collect the ingredients, because right now I think that the ingredients are still, like, you're still trying to figure out what it is you need, and that's fine. At least you're doing the work. Strength reverse suggests a lack of courage for some reason. Not sure of yourself, and not necessarily doing the detachment thing, which is kind of something that we need to do, right? To recognize the lion as the beasts. I always say it's the beasts in our life. It's the thing in our life that we can't seem to separate ourselves from, whether it's like an addiction of some kind, an addiction to an emotional abusive relationship, or an addiction to like a substance. Like, even I always use coffee as an example, because that's like my addiction, right? Or an addiction to just working too hard, an addiction to not balancing your life work thing, like whatever that kind of thing is. This suggests that that's still kind of going on, but you have an opportunity to break free from that this month. And I think the Jupiter thing has a lot to do with that, which is amazing. 5 of Cups suggests a longing for the past. There could be a feeling of the grass is greener, but not necessarily the grass is greener on the other side, but the grass was greener way back then, right? You're looking to the past. Why? The past is something that, 1, you cannot get back. Of course, you already know that. 2, there's nothing you can do about it. 3, it was all a learning experience. There's no point in spending all this time in longing or in sadness. Not now, especially when you have such amazing things on the docket right in front of you. Where whatever it is you do, whatever changes you're making, I know you're making big ones. I know. There's no way. There's no way that you couldn't be making big ones with this Venus thing going on. So So what? So now you have to do it. You have to put your money where your mouth is. You have to allow, you have to surrender, and you have to act at the same time. Okay. What is going on? I was actually expecting a like super incredibly positive, like getting all these amazing cards, but here we have just such a tough place. Such a tough place. You're feeling perhaps a little bit out of control. Are you feeling out of control of certain things right now? Are you feeling like you are being victimized by someone else's behavior, someone else's words, someone else's stuff? You know, like someone else's psyche. Because I don't see that you are particularly a huge contributor to the situation, but rather just a contributor to your own mindset, not really being able to tap into that like observing awareness, that observing mind, or that higher level consciousness. That's the way you're contributing to your own isolation and your own rejection. But whatever anyone else is doing, whatever anyone else is saying to you, it's important for you to remember that you can be untouchable. That you can be unaffected by someone else. As long as you choose to be. That choice is one thing, making the decision is one thing, but actually doing it is another thing. I'm feeling like there's an overlap of an old self and a new self. And I think I said this in Scorpio too. This must be a thing. I just happened to post this on Instagram the other day. I didn't even do this really on purpose, but it was like the cost of your new life is your old life. And I think that there's a battle between an old life and a new life here. The battle between what's familiar and what you know and what's possible. You are being stretched to limits that you probably don't want. You'd never wanted to be stretched to that extreme. You never wanted to be pushed that hard. But what happens is when you get pushed and you get pushed into a corner like this is that darkness that is, you know, Sagittarius is very good at the darkness, right? You have the beauty of the duality there with the fire and water, Scorpio 12th house. Like, you guys know, you guys understand that darkness within yourself, and you're good at it. You're good at reaching into the depths of your soul. That's why you have that understanding quality about your archetype. It's all about understanding, because you have the ability to go to those depths. And something has pushed you into those depths, probably without you even realizing that this even happened. It's just you kind of woke up one day and you're like, wow, I'm in a really weird place. This is not at all what I was expecting. But see, the good thing about Sagittarius, at least all my Sagittarius friends that I know, is that in the face of any of this nonsense, they're still always looking at the silver lining. That's what the Five of Cups is always all about too, is looking at the silver lining. And I think that this month, that's not going by the wayside. That's very much a theme. Looking at the silver lining of where you are, looking at your circumstances and saying, okay, where's the opportunity here? Because clearly in the very center of the reading, and there's so much to clarify in the comprehensive, you guys. Five of Cups, Five of Coins, Three of Swords, Strength reverse. Like, why are all these kind of harsh cards coming out? Well, because it's pushing you. You're being rebirthed. And birth, as you know, right? Human birth is a painful experience in a physical sense. Well, might be a spiritually painful experience, but it always brings with it new good things. And here we have the Knight of Cups. This could be someone else. If you guys are romantically inclined, it's probably a suitor of some kind, all right? It could be a very good friend of yours. But all in all, this is actually indicative of the Piscean archetype, all right? The mutable water sign. And Pisces is also not only ruled by Neptune, but also ruled by Jupiter. And so here we have a Jupiterian theme coming out. Now, this could be a friend, or it could be a friend also reflecting back to you your Knight of Cups, that inner part of you that is this quality, okay? And Jupiter is all about optimism. That's all it is. It's optimism and joy and just enjoying life and seeing the best in everything. So if you're connecting with someone, you know, see, the Queen of Coins can be actually quite harsh on herself at times, right? Because she pushes herself to a limit. This is the indicative of the Capricorn archetype. You can see the if my camera will focus on her, well, anyway, on her chair there's that, you know, the head of the goat, right? So here we have the Capricorn, which is really tough, very Saturnian. And here we have Jupiter. So we have Jupiter and Saturn coming together. And what happens when Jupiter and Saturn come together and work together toward an Ace of Wands? Well, I'll tell you what happens is not only do you have the expansiveness and the possibility at the top of your mind, but you also have the structure through which to accomplish those possibilities. So it's not just about one or the other. You actually are getting both. But this Knight of Cups represents the possibility for the best kind of love that you ever could possibly imagine, the possibility for the best absolute creative outlet that you could possibly imagine. It's the best. And it's no accident. And I'll show you guys these cards in the comprehensive, right? They're the Queen of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and Knight of Cups all lined up right down the middle. That is the center. That is what the Taoists call the middle way. Not too extreme in one direction. Not too extreme in spirituality, which the Jupiter could bring you toward that, or not too extreme in the practicality, which the Saturn could bring you too much toward that. I mean, you're really walking down the line, straight down the middle. So please, I mean, gosh, give yourself credits for doing that. That's amazing. Six of Wands reversed. I feel like there is an external influence that is highly impacting you. Business associate, a nasty client, a bad relation, whatever it is. Like, oh my gosh. They're trying to pull you down, man. Like, they're trying to pull you down. They're trying to affect you. They're trying to do all this stuff. But see, when we get the Two of Swords that comes out as well, Two of Swords suggests restoring peace in your life and being unaffected by these crossroads. The Two of Swords is someone who has absolute faith in the unfolding of life, who has absolute faith that if they surrender to the process, then they will be taken to mountaintops higher than they ever thought they could climb. One step at a time, of course. But see, the Six of Wands forces you to reevaluate the people that you have in your life. It forces you to look at the negative influences, and it's humbling. This is a humbling experience. It's humbling because you realize things about yourself that you never thought would ever be true. That's what this card represents, right? And Venus, the hand mirror going through the depths of our soul, Scorpio, 12th house. I mean, this is serious stuff. And come November and December, when Mercury starts going back direct, Venus comes to your sign, Jupiter's in there now, like you're going to feel this rush behind you. Period. That's all I have to say. You're going to feel a rush behind you, and it's going to be propelling and pushing you forward. But you need to make the changes now. King of Cups, beautiful, upright. Oh, we got two more. Okay, great. So let's look at these. These are the last three we'll talk about. And Nine of Coins. Nine of Coins also came out for Scorpio as well, so I'm not surprised that it comes out for you guys. Because what happens after you break free from this and you start walking down this path with this kind of an attitude, what happens is you get to that Nine of Coins place, to that place where, right, what's the saying? Your cup runneth over. But you're in the process of filling up your cup so that it can run over, right? Because when we hit the 10 of coins, that's when it incorporates everyone else. But you got to take care of yourself first. This is an oxygen mask scenario. Put your own oxygen mask on first, and then you can start saving the people around you. But you need to be alive and well and good and breathing and taking care of yourself before that can really spill over to everybody else. I guarantee that you have amazing people in your life that are right there next to you. There's just something that you're not quite putting your finger on. And I always say that with the Eight of Swords. There's a lack of illumination that happens here. No surprise, sun reverse, a lack of illumination, sun being dunked down into your 12th house, and illuminating certain things. That'll be things coming to light for sure. But right now, you're still kind of blinded by certain things. And because we have the sword quality, it's usually thoughts, right? Fears and insecurities and doubts, all these things that are just fabricated in our own mind. They're not even real. They're just things that we allowed us to hold us back, or we allow these things to hold us back. But you're on the path to the Nine of Coins. I'll clarify the King of Cups and who that is. It could be a quality of you. It could be someone else. King of Cups could also be the Knight of Cups as well. Someone who presents themselves as a friend, someone who's just there to help you, whatever. But they could turn into a very impactful presence in your life, whether it's developing a strong relationship, a strong commitment of some kind, or someone who just really steps up and is like, hey, I see you're needing some help. You're needing some advice at the very least. Let me help you. I've been there. I understand. So there's a lot to cover, a lot going on. But the only thing that you can do, if you take nothing else from this reading, the one thing that you can do for yourself is just allow it to happen. To follow that gut, which you're so good at. Sometimes a little too good, but the more and more you hold back, the longer and longer you're going to be kind of caught in this state. This is like a trap, right? You can get caught here. You can choose to stay here, or you can choose to start this whole thing now. All right? So, for sure, a lot to cover. I'll show you the cards in the comprehensive all laid out. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. Annuals are also on my website if you guys want to check those out. And that's it. Thank you guys so much. Take care. Bye-bye.